Standing still is impossible in life. Right now, at this very moment, you're either moving forward or sliding backward. There's no middle ground. Look at your hands for a moment. These same hands that you see before you have the power to build empires or to remain idle. The choice, the magnificent, life-altering choice, is entirely yours. Every person who has ever achieved anything worthwhile first had to confront their own limitations. Think about that for a moment. Thomas Edison didn't begin knowing how to create the light bulb. Henry Ford didn't start with the knowledge to build an automobile empire. They simply refused to accept the limitations others saw as permanent walls. The most dangerous limits aren't the ones the world places on you. They're the ones you accept in your own mind. I've studied success and human achievement for decades, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that your potential far exceeds your current imagination. The human mind, your mind, is capable of achievements so extraordinary that they would seem impossible if we hadn't already seen them accomplished time and time again. Consider this. Every single day, you make thousands of decisions. Most of them seem small, insignificant even. What time to wake up, whether to exercise, which tasks to tackle first. But these seemingly tiny choices compound over time, creating either a pattern of growth or a pattern of decay. There's no standing still. You're either building or eroding. The fascinating truth about human potential is that it operates much like a muscle. When you push against resistance, when you stretch beyond your comfort zone, you grow stronger. Every time you face a limitation and push through it, you expand your capacity for achievement. Your mind, this incredible gift you possess, is the most powerful tool ever given to any living creature. Let me share something remarkable with you about the power of your mind. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, forming trillions of connections. This biological supercomputer you carry between your ears is more powerful than any artificial computer ever created. Yet most people use only a fraction of their mental capacity, not because they can't do more, but because they've accepted artificial limitations. Your thoughts have tremendous power. Each thought you think sends electrical signals through your brain, creating neural pathways. The more you think a particular thought, the stronger that pathway becomes. It's like walking through a field of tall grass. The more you walk the same path, the more defined it becomes. Your repeated thoughts create your habits, and your habits create your life. Consider how this works in practical terms. When you wake up in the morning, your first thoughts set the tone for your entire day. If you wake up thinking about problems and limitations, your brain will find evidence to support those thoughts. But if you wake up focused on opportunities and possibilities, your brain will seek out ways to turn those thoughts into reality. This isn't just positive thinking, it's practical psychology. When you truly believe something is possible, you take different actions than when you think it's impossible. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your results. It's a simple but powerful cycle that either works for you or against you. The 4-minute mile barrier. Before Roger Bannister broke it in 1954, medical experts said it was physically impossible for a human to run a mile in under 4 minutes. They had scientific proof, they had data, they had years of recorded attempts. But Bannister didn't accept their limitation. He believed it was possible, and that belief shaped his training, his preparation, and ultimately his achievement. Here's what's truly remarkable. Within just 1 year after Bannister broke this impossible barrier, 37 other runners also ran a mile in under 4 minutes. The human body hadn't suddenly evolved, the tracks hadn't gotten shorter. What changed? The belief system. Once people saw it was possible, their minds accepted a new reality, and their bodies followed. Your belief system works the same way. Whatever you believe about yourself, about your capabilities, about what's possible for you, these beliefs create the boundaries of your achievement. If you believe you can earn a certain income, that belief will influence every career decision you make. If you believe you can impact others in a meaningful way, that belief will shape how you interact with people. But here's the most important part. Your beliefs are not fixed. They're not permanent. They're not even necessarily true. They're simply thoughts you've thought so many times that they feel true. And just as you can create new pathways in a field by walking a different route, You can create new beliefs by consistently thinking different thoughts. Start paying attention to your thought patterns. Notice how you talk to yourself. Listen to the stories you tell about your capabilities, your opportunities, your future. Are these stories serving you? Are they pushing you toward growth? Or are they keeping you stuck in artificial limitations? Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. Plant thoughts of limitation, and you'll harvest mediocrity. Plant thoughts of possibility, and you'll harvest opportunity. Every day, you're either planting seeds of growth or seeds of decay. The choice is yours, but you must make it consciously. Remember this: your potential isn't determined by your current circumstances, your past experiences, or other people's opinions. Your potential is determined by your willingness to grow, to learn, to push beyond your comfort zone. And that willingness starts with your thoughts. Take control of your mental assets. Guard your thoughts as carefully as you would guard your most valuable possessions, because they are your most valuable possessions. Choose thoughts that empower you, that challenge you, that push you to grow. Replace limiting beliefs with expanding ones. Replace "I can't" with "how can I?" Replace "that's impossible" with "let me figure this out." Your mind is your greatest asset. It's the tool that can turn dreams into reality, possibilities into achievements, and limitations into stepping stones. But like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how you use it. Use it to build, to grow, to create, to achieve. Use it to push past your current limitations and into new territory of possibility. The power of your mind is waiting to be unleashed. The only question is, will you accept its full potential, or will you continue to live within the comfortable confines of your current beliefs? Every single one of us carries limiting beliefs, those quiet whispers that tell us what we can't do, what we're not capable of, what's beyond our reach. These beliefs aren't facts, though they feel like facts. They're simply thoughts we've repeated so often that we've accepted them as truth. Right now, I want you to think about your own limiting beliefs. What stories do you tell yourself about what's possible for you? Let me tell you about Michael, a man I met who worked as a janitor for 20 years. Every day he would clean the offices of successful executives, listening to their conversations, watching their success from a distance. His limiting belief? That education and success were for other people. People born into different circumstances. But one day, while cleaning an executive's office, he found a book about starting a business. Instead of putting it back on the shelf, he started reading it during his breaks. That single decision to challenge his limiting belief about who could learn about business changed everything. Over the next 2 years, Michael read every business book he could find. He started a small cleaning business on the weekends. Today, 15 years later, his company employs over 200 people. The only thing that changed was his belief about what was possible for him. Or consider Maria, a single mother of 3 who worked 2 jobs to make ends meet. Her limiting belief was that she didn't have time to pursue her dreams. "Someone like me can't go back to school," she would say. "I barely have time to sleep." But instead of accepting this limitation, she questioned it. She started studying for just 30 minutes each night after her children went to bed. It wasn't much, but it was something. 5 years later, Maria graduated with a nursing degree. Yes, it took longer than traditional students. Yes, there were nights when she wanted to quit. But she refused to let her limiting beliefs define her future. Today, she's a registered nurse, earning 3 times what she made before, and showing her children that limitations are meant to be overcome. These aren't just inspiring stories. They're proof that limiting beliefs can be shattered through persistent action. Notice that neither Michael nor Maria waited until they felt ready. They didn't wait until all doubts were gone. They simply started taking action, however small, in the direction of their dreams. The principle of persistent action is the key to breaking through mental barriers. You see, most people wait to feel confident before they take action, but that's backward. Confidence doesn't come first, action comes first, and confidence follows. Every time you take action despite your fears, despite your doubts, you prove to yourself that your limiting beliefs are just that, beliefs, not facts. Learning to ride a bicycle. No amount of thinking about it, reading about it, or watching others do it can give you the confidence to ride. Only by getting on the bike, falling, getting back up, and trying again do you develop the confidence to ride. The same principle applies to every area of life where you face limiting beliefs. Let me share another principle that's crucial for breaking through mental barriers. The size of your initial action doesn't matter nearly as much as its consistency. Too many people wait to take massive action when small, consistent actions would serve them better. If you want to write a book, don't wait until you can dedicate 6 hours a day to writing. Start with 15 minutes. If you want to start a business, don't wait until you have a perfect plan. Start with one small step. Consider David, a factory worker who dreamed of becoming an artist. His limiting belief, real artists start young, it's too late for me. But instead of letting this belief stop him, he decided to draw for just 20 minutes each day during his lunch break. At first, his drawings were basic, almost childlike, but he kept going day after day, month after month. 3 years later, David's art began selling at local galleries. Not because he was the most talented artist, but because he refused to let his limiting belief stop him from taking persistent action. Today, his artwork hangs in collections across the country. The limiting belief that it was too late turned out to be just that, a limitation in his mind, not in reality. Here's a powerful truth about breaking through mental barriers. The barrier isn't in the doing, it's in the starting. Once you're in motion, once you're taking action, the barrier loses its power. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. The hardest part is getting it to move initially. Once it's rolling, maintaining its movement becomes much easier. The principle of persistent action teaches us that success isn't about making perfect moves. It's about making constant moves in the right direction. Every action you take, no matter how small, chips away at your limiting beliefs. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, proves that your limitations are not set in stone. The Wright brothers, when they decided to pursue human flight, they faced universal skepticism. The leading scientists of their day had proven that human flight was impossible. But Orville and Wilbur didn't accept this limitation. They kept experimenting, failing, learning, and trying again. Their success didn't come from having special abilities. It came from persistent action in the face of limiting beliefs. Your limiting beliefs have power only because you've given them power through years of acceptance. But just as you built these beliefs through repetition, you can break them down through persistent action. Each time you take action despite a limiting belief, you create evidence that contradicts that belief. Each small success, each tiny step forward creates a crack in the wall of your limitations. Remember this: breaking through mental barriers isn't about waiting until the barrier disappears. It's about taking action while the barrier is still there, proving to yourself through experience that the barrier isn't as solid as you thought. The barrier may feel real, but persistent action will reveal its true nature, a mirage created by your own thoughts. Your limiting beliefs are not your destiny unless you choose to make them so. Through persistent action, through small steps taken consistently, you can break through any mental barrier that stands between you and your dreams. Now let me share with you a success formula that's so powerful, yet so simple that many people overlook it. Success isn't complicated. It's about understanding fundamental principles and applying them consistently. The formula I'm about to share with you has transformed countless lives, and it can transform yours too. First, you must understand that success without a clear target is like trying to hit a bullseye in complete darkness. You might get lucky, but the odds are stacked against you. Most people walk through life with vague ideas about what they want. They say things like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happy." But these aren't goals, they're wishes. A real goal is specific, measurable, and has a deadline. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful in business," a clear goal would be, "I will build a company that generates $500,000 in annual revenue by December 31st of next year." Notice the difference? The second goal gives your mind something concrete to work toward. It creates a clear target for your brain to focus on. When you set a clear goal, something remarkable happens in your brain. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, begins to notice opportunities that were always there but invisible to you before. It's like buying a new car and suddenly seeing that same model everywhere. The cars were always there, you just weren't programmed to notice them. But setting clear goals is just the first step. The real magic happens in your daily actions. You see, success isn't achieved in one giant leap. It's built through small, consistent steps taken day after day. This is where most people fail. They set a goal, get excited about it, but never break it down into daily actions. Building a house. You can't just say, I'm going to build a house, and then wait for it to appear. You need blueprints. You need to break the project down into specific tasks. You need to know what needs to be done today, tomorrow, and next week. Your goals are no different. Take that $500,000 revenue goal. What needs to happen each month to reach that target? Break it down further. What needs to happen each week, each day? Maybe you need to make 5 sales calls daily. Maybe you need to write 1 marketing piece each week. Maybe you need to network with 3 new potential clients every month. These daily and weekly actions become your blueprint for success. This brings us to one of the most powerful principles in achievement, the compound effect of small improvements. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. They look for big breakthroughs instead of focusing on small, consistent progress. Let me share a simple mathematical truth that illustrates this principle. If you improve just 1% each day, after 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Not 365% better, 37 times better. That's the power of compound improvement. Each small step builds on all the previous steps, creating exponential growth. Consider reading just 10 pages of a good book each day. It seems small, almost insignificant. But over a year, that's 3,650 pages, equivalent to reading about 12 books. Those books contain knowledge that can change your life, and all it took was a small daily commitment. Or think about saving $5 a day. Again, it seems tiny. But invested wisely over 30 years with compound interest, that $5 daily investment can grow to over $250,000. Small actions taken consistently create extraordinary results. This principle applies to every area of life. Want to get in shape? Don't try to transform your body in a month. Focus on doing a little bit more each day. Want to build a business? Don't try to become an overnight success. Focus on serving 1 more customer, making 1 more sale, improving 1 more process each day. The key is consistency. It's better to do something small every day than to do something big once in a while. The person who walks 1 mile every day will go further than the person who runs 5 miles once a month. The person who studies for 30 minutes daily will learn more than the person who studies for 5 hours once a week. Your daily action plan becomes your success insurance policy. When you know exactly what you need to do each day to move toward your goals, you remove the guesswork. You no longer have to wonder, what should I do today? You already know. Your only job is to execute the plan. But here's something crucial about daily action plans. They must be realistic. Many people set themselves up for failure by creating plans they can't possibly maintain. They try to change everything at once. They try to go from zero to hero overnight. This approach almost always leads to burnout and failure. Instead, start with actions so small you can't fail. Want to start exercising? Begin with 1 push-up a day. Want to start writing? Write 1 sentence a day. Want to start a business? Make 1 sales call a day. These tiny actions might seem ridiculous, but they serve a crucial purpose. They help you build the habit of taking action. Once the habit is established, you can gradually increase the action. That 1 push-up becomes 2, then 5, then 10. That 1 sentence becomes a paragraph, then a page. That 1 sales call becomes 2, then 5. The action grows, but the habit of daily execution remains constant. Remember this: success is not about intensity, it's about consistency. The person who does something small every day will always outperform the person who does something big occasionally. The tortoise beats the hare not because he's faster, but because he's more consistent. Your daily actions create your habits create your character, and your character creates your destiny. Every small action you take is like placing a brick in the foundation of your success. One brick might not seem like much, but place enough bricks consistently, and you'll build a monument. Monitor your progress, but don't become obsessed with daily results. Some days you'll see progress, other days you won't. This is normal. Focus on executing your daily plan regardless of immediate results. The results will come if you stay consistent. Think of it like planting a garden. You don't dig up the seeds every day to check their progress. You trust the process. You water them consistently, ensure they get sunlight, and protect them from weeds. Your success works the same way. Focus on the daily actions, the watering and weeding, and trust that the harvest will come. This success formula, clear goals, daily action plans, and the compound effect of small improvements, isn't complex, but it is powerful. It has created more success stories than all the get-rich-quick schemes combined. It works because it aligns with natural laws of growth and achievement. Your success is inevitable if you follow this formula consistently. Not immediate, but inevitable. Every small step takes you closer to your goal. Every tiny improvement compounds over time. Every daily action builds momentum toward your dreams. The only question is, will you trust the formula? Will you do the small things consistently? Will you keep going even when you don't see immediate results? Your answer to these questions will determine your destiny. Let me tell you something vital about fear. That feeling in your stomach when you're about to take a bold step, that voice in your head telling you to play it safe, it's not your enemy. Fear is simply a signal that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone, that you're about to do something significant. The most successful people in history weren't fearless. They were courageous. There's a crucial difference. Fear is like a shadow on the wall. From a distance it looks enormous and threatening. But when you walk toward it, when you reach out to touch it, you realize it has no substance. It's an illusion created by your mind to protect you from imagined dangers. Think about this. 90% of the things we fear never actually happen. We worry about scenarios our minds create, possibilities that exist only in our imagination. I remember talking to a successful entrepreneur who shared something profound. She said, "I used to think successful people didn't feel fear. Then I became successful and realized we all feel fear. We just don't let it make our decisions for us." This is crucial to understand. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. Consider this. Every time you feel fear, you have two choices. You can step back into the comfort of the familiar, or you can step forward into growth. The quality of your life will be determined by which choice you consistently make. The amazing thing about fear is that it loses its power when you face it. Each time you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that fear is not in charge. Building courage isn't about becoming fearless. It's about building a track record of facing your fears and surviving. Start small. Take one tiny action that scares you. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Speak up in that meeting. Ask for that opportunity. Each small victory, learning to swim. No amount of thinking about swimming, reading about swimming, or watching others swim will make you a swimmer. You have to get in the water. Yes, it's scary at first. Yes, you might swallow some water. But each time you get in, you become more comfortable. Your fear doesn't disappear. It transforms into excitement, into confidence. The most paralyzing form of fear is the fear of failure. But here's the truth about failure. It's not your enemy. It's your teacher. Every setback, every mistake, every failure contains a lesson that can make you stronger, smarter, better prepared for success. The only real failure is refusing to try, refusing to learn, refusing to get back up. Let me share a story about Tom, a man who dreamed of starting his own business but was paralyzed by fear. For years he stayed in a job he hated because it was safe. One day, he decided to take one small step. He spent 1 hour after work researching his business idea. Just 1 hour. That small action led to another, then another. Today, Tom runs a successful company. His fear didn't disappear before he took action. It disappeared because he took action. Here's something crucial about setbacks. They're not permanent unless you make them permanent. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every closed door points you toward an open one. Every setback contains the seeds of an equal or greater comeback, but only if you're willing to learn from it. When you face a setback, ask yourself these questions. What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What would I do differently next time? These questions transform setbacks from obstacles into opportunities, from failures into feedback. The most successful people in history faced enormous setbacks. Thomas Edison's teachers said he was too stupid to learn anything. He went on to hold over 1,000 patents. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He built an entertainment empire. These weren't just lucky breaks. They were people who refused to let setbacks define them. Remember this. Fear is a response to stepping into unknown territory. But all growth, all achievement, all success requires stepping into the unknown. If you're feeling fear, it often means you're on the right track. You're pushing beyond your comfort zone. You're growing. Building courage through action means starting before you feel ready. It means taking the first step before you can see the whole staircase. It means understanding that confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It's a result of action. You don't need to feel confident to start. You need to start to feel confident. Public speaking, one of the most common fears. No one becomes a great speaker by waiting until they feel confident. They become confident speakers by speaking, by facing their fear, by learning from each experience. The fear might never completely disappear, but it transforms from paralysis into energy. When facing setbacks, remember this principle. You haven't failed until you quit. Every failure is simply a step in your learning process. Every setback is setting you up for a comeback. Every no is bringing you closer to a yes. But you have to stay in the game. You have to keep taking action. Your fear wants to protect you from pain, from disappointment, from failure. But in doing so, it also protects you from growth, from achievement, from success. You must decide which is more important to you. The comfort of staying the same, or the temporary discomfort of growth. The path to success is not about eliminating fear. It's about acting despite fear. It's about understanding that fear is normal, natural, and often a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's about building courage through consistent action, about learning from setbacks instead of being defeated by them. Your fear is not your enemy. Your doubts are not your destiny. Your setbacks are not your story. They're simply part of the journey, challenges to be overcome, lessons to be learned, opportunities for growth. The only question is, will you let them stop you, or will you use them as fuel for your success? In all my years of studying success and human achievement, I've discovered that mindset isn't just important, it's everything. The achievement mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop like a muscle through consistent training and deliberate practice. It's about training your mind to focus on possibilities instead of problems, on solutions instead of setbacks. Let me tell you about focus first. Your mind is like a magnifying glass. When you concentrate its power on one point, it can start a fire. But when that same energy is scattered, it loses its power. Most people live with scattered focus. They try to do 10 things at once and wonder why they don't make progress in any of them. The achievement mindset demands singular, unwavering focus. A laser beam. What makes it so powerful? It's not the amount of light. It's the concentration of that light in one direction. Your mental energy works the same way. When you focus it entirely on one goal, one target, one outcome, its power becomes unstoppable. This isn't about multitasking. It's about single-tasking with absolute intensity. Consider how an Olympic athlete prepares for competition. They don't scatter their energy across dozens of sports. They focus intensely on their chosen event. Every morning, every workout, every meal is aligned with their goal. This level of focus might seem extreme, but it's what separates world-class performers from average ones. The power of positive expectation. Your mind is constantly making predictions about your future based on your expectations. When you expect to fail, your mind finds evidence to support that expectation. When you expect to succeed, your mind notices opportunities that support that expectation. This isn't wishful thinking, it's practical psychology. Two people face the same challenge. One expects to fail and sees every obstacle as confirmation of their expected failure. The other expects to succeed and sees every obstacle as a stepping stone toward their expected success. Same situation, different mindset, different results. But positive expectation isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about maintaining an unwavering belief in your ability to find a way forward, no matter what challenges arise. It's about expecting good things while preparing for and learning from setbacks. The achievement mindset requires you to become a master of your habits. Your habits aren't just what you do, they're who you become. Every habit is either moving you toward your goals or away from them. There's no neutral ground. The key is to create habits that automatically move you toward success. Start with your morning routine. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Successful people don't wake up and immediately check their phones, reacting to everyone else's priorities. They take control of their morning, setting aside time for activities that fuel their success. Exercise, reading, planning, meditation. Create habits that make success inevitable. If you want to write a book, make writing first thing in the morning a habit. If you want to build a business, make making 5 sales calls before noon a habit. If you want to get in shape, make exercise a non-negotiable part of your day. These habits become the foundation of your success. The achievement mindset also requires you to guard your mental environment. Just as you wouldn't put poison in your body, don't put mental poison in your mind. Surround yourself with people who believe in your potential. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to content that fuels your ambition. Develop the habit of continuous learning. The world is changing faster than ever, and the only security is your ability to learn and adapt. Make reading a daily habit. Take courses in your field. Study successful people. The more you learn, the more you earn, not just in money, but in opportunities and capabilities. Create habits that support your focus. Turn off notifications during your most productive hours. Schedule specific times for checking email and social media. Create boundaries that protect your mental energy. Your focus is too valuable to waste on distractions. The achievement mindset requires you to become comfortable with discomfort. Growth happens outside your comfort zone, so make pushing your boundaries a habit. Do something every day that challenges you, that makes you slightly uncomfortable. This builds your resilience and expands your capabilities. Remember this: your mindset creates your expectations. Your expectations influence your actions, and your actions determine your results. It's a cycle that either works for you or against you. The achievement mindset ensures it works for you. Develop the habit of taking immediate action. When you have an idea, act on it. When you see an opportunity, pursue it. When you identify a problem, start solving it. Don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't exist. The habit of immediate action builds momentum, and momentum is crucial for achievement. Create accountability habits. Share your goals with someone who will hold you to them. Track your progress daily. Measure what matters. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets improved. Make reviewing your progress a weekly habit. The achievement mindset isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about getting better every day, about learning from setbacks, about maintaining focus despite distractions. It's about expecting success while preparing for challenges. It's about creating habits that make success automatic. Your mindset is your most valuable asset. Guard it carefully. Feed it regularly with positive input. Challenge it consistently with new goals. Train it daily through focused action. Your mindset will determine your success more than your talents, your resources, or your opportunities. Remember, the achievement mindset isn't something you create once and forget about. It's something you rebuild every day through your choices, your habits, your focus. It's a practice, not a destination. It's about becoming the kind of person who automatically thinks, acts, and performs at a higher level. Your mindset is your destiny. Choose it wisely, train it consistently, guard it carefully, because in the end, your achievement will never exceed the scope of your mindset. You have a responsibility, not to others, but to yourself, to live up to your highest potential. Every morning when you wake up, you face a choice. Will you settle for less than you're capable of, or will you push toward excellence? This isn't about perfectionism. It's about refusing to accept mediocrity when excellence is within your reach. Every great achievement in human history began with someone refusing to accept the status quo. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every triumph over adversity started with an individual deciding that average wasn't enough. You have that same power within you, the power to reject mediocrity and pursue excellence. Your potential isn't a fixed quantity. It's not something you're born with and can never change. Your potential expands every time you push past your current limitations. Every time you learn something new. Every time you face a fear. Every time you persist despite difficulty. You increase your capacity for achievement. But here's something crucial to understand. Your pursuit of excellence isn't just about you. When you grow, when you achieve, when you push past limitations, you create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Think about that for a moment. Your success, your growth, your excellence becomes an inspiration to others. It shows them what's possible. Consider someone watching you right now, maybe a child, a colleague, a friend. They're watching how you handle challenges, how you respond to setbacks, how you pursue your dreams. Your example might be the spark that ignites their own journey toward excellence. That's both a responsibility and an opportunity. The ripple effect of personal growth extends far beyond what you can see. When you improve yourself, you improve your relationships. When you pursue excellence in your work, you create more value for others. When you refuse to accept limitations, you show others that they don't have to accept their limitations either. Taking charge of your destiny means accepting complete responsibility for your life. No more blaming circumstances, no more waiting for perfect conditions, no more letting others define your limits. Your destiny is in your hands, not in your circumstances, not in your past, not in other people's opinions. This responsibility can feel heavy at times. It's easier to make excuses, to blame others, to settle for less. But the weight of responsibility is nothing compared to the weight of regret. The pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of disappointment in yourself. Excellence isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about pushing your own boundaries, challenging your own limits, expanding your own capabilities. Every day you have opportunities to choose excellence over mediocrity. These choices might seem small in the moment, but they compound over time to create your destiny. Your journey toward excellence will inspire others, but that can't be your primary motivation. You must pursue excellence because it's who you are, because anything less feels like settling. Let your example inspire others, but let your drive come from within. Remember this: 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Every time you choose comfort over growth, safety over opportunity, mediocrity over excellence, you're choosing to live below your potential. The world needs what you have to offer. It needs your talents, your ideas, your contribution. Don't let self-imposed limitations rob the world of your unique gifts. Stand up, step forward, and claim your power. Your potential is not your destiny. Your choices are your destiny. Take full responsibility for your life starting right now. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Stop waiting for someone to remove your limitations. That's your job. Stop waiting for permission to be extraordinary. You don't need it. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Every action you take, every decision you make, every limitation you challenge is shaping your destiny. The question isn't whether you have limitations. Everyone does. The question is, what are you going to do about them? The power to transform your life, to shatter your limitations, to achieve your dreams, it all exists within you right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Right now. The only question is, will you use it? Your potential is waiting to be unleashed. Your future is waiting to be created. Your excellence is waiting to be achieved. The decision is yours. The time is now. Rise up, push forward, break through. The world is waiting for your contribution, your excellence, your best self. The choice is yours. It always has been. Will you accept your current limitations as permanent walls? Or will you see them as temporary barriers to be broken through? Will you settle for less than you're capable of, or will you push forward into new territory of excellence? The power is yours. The time is now. What will you do with it?